Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. I just love that song. I want to talk to you tonight about my sex life. That's right. My sex life with my own Christian Grey. Remember Christian Grey? The male character of that famous book and movie called 50 Shades of Grey? Picture this. My dream man. He's tall, dark, and handsome, and very rich. He's also very sexy and mysterious. I fell in love with him right away. I could see myself spend the rest of my life with him. Things between us were so good. He treated me just like a woman. Oh, there's another song there. The sexual energy between us was just so intense. It was fabulous. Now, we had a great lifestyle together. You know, he had everything money can buy. Fancy cars, the fancy house, the yacht. We had a great time together. I thought, my goodness, this Cinderella finally found her Prince Charming. And I was going to do anything to make him happy. Because it was a dream come true. I finally found the one. Our sex life, as I said, was so exciting. I mean, you know, we did everything from sexy lingerie. Well, I was wearing it, not him. Sexy lingerie, you know, the chains, the leather, the whips. It was just so fabulous. But one night, he asked me, he says, Lise, do you want to watch porn? Oh my God, I got this pain in my gut, right? And I felt so uncomfortable. I thought to myself, well, everybody watches porn, don't they? The experts say that porn actually spices things up in a relationship. It's $1 billion industry. Can't be that bad. The more painful my gut was so much in pain that I just kept rationalizing it until my pain just went away. And finally, we were watching porn. But let me ask you a question. What happens, let's say, if you keep watching movies and it's violent all the time, and you know what happens? Like pretty soon, you don't even care if you see bodies being blown up and blood everywhere, because you're getting used to the violence. Well, the same thing is for porn. Same thing is like that with porn. More and more men are becoming addicted to porn and are destroying their relationships. Porn is so easily acceptable, not acceptable, but accessible, I was trying to say, and it's free. Young boys can watch porn on their own phone. What happens, though, when porn is no longer enough? Same thing is the same thing happens with violence, right? You get used to it, and then, you're not hearing me? Oh, I have to start all over again. Let me tell you what happens when you keep watching porn. I'll tell you what happened in my own relationship. One night, my wonderful Christian Grey, as we were watching porn, he says, Lise, I would like to bring some of the scenes of the porn we've been watching into reality. And then that's when he asked me if I wanted to do threesomes with him. Oh my God, it's like the first thing that came into my mind was, am I not good enough for him anymore? Am I not beautiful and sexy any longer? I was crushed. But of course, my Christian Grey, he always had the right things to say. I mean, he was saying things like, you know what, if this happens, Lise, it's going to be an experience of a lifetime for me and for you. And it's going to bring us closer together. I believed the crap he was feeding me. I remember the first time it happened. I say the first time because it did happen way more than once. I felt so nauseous. I actually threw up before she arrived, and I had feelings of jealousy. Well, I was jealous because I already knew what she looked like. And I even heard a voice that said, "No, Lise, don't do this. This is wrong." But pleasing my man was the most important thing I wanted to do. So I ignored my intuition or that voice, completely ignored it. But afterwards, I felt so numb, and I felt disgusted. You see, my actions were done out of love, because I loved him so much, and I desired him. I mean, he was the one. And I was successful at making him happy by doing these things. I didn't care about my own feelings. I overstepped my own values because I just wanted to please him. You know, we want so much to please others that, we're seeking love and approval with other people, and we just forget about what we value the most. I learned this pattern very well while growing up, because when I was growing up, I was sexually abused from the age of 3 to 12 by various people in my own family, constantly. It was just something I was accustomed to doing, pleasing other people sexually to get their love. But with my own Christian Grey, it just went even further, but he was never satisfied, no matter what I did. I thought by allowing him to fulfill his own sexual fantasies that our relationship would flourish and we would be more connected. But what a load of crap that was. That's not what happened at all. But I seriously believe this because my past created a woman of no value. I had no self-worth whatsoever. I had lost all my power way back then. I had no idea what a healthy relationship looked like. I had no role models. I found my value in sex at a very young age. That's what I believed I was good at, just having sex with men. And I gave my body right away, had so many one-night stands and all kinds of relationships I had, if you call that a relationship. It's not a relationship, it's a one-night stand and this and that. It's like, no. Anyway, I digress. I have my notes. Everybody's happiness was way more important than my own. I wanted to be loved so bad. I never had it. So in my own relationships, I took that to a whole other level. But the turning point in my life was when I found out that my dear dream man was cheating on me anyways. He was cheating on me with other women to fulfill other sexual fantasies that he had, that he knew darn well that I would not be a part of. He wanted to introduce other men, into our bed, and I didn't want to do that. So he cheated on me with other people to do that. And when I found this out, I was crushed. Didn't I do all these things for us to be happy, to make him happy? Didn't he say I was the best girlfriend he's ever had? You see, it doesn't matter what you sacrifice for other people, because if they're not happy to begin with, there's no way in hell you can make them happy, no matter what you do. And if you have very low self-esteem, you keep attracting people who don't value you. And that's what happened to me. All my life, I thought everyone else was way more important than I was. I was nobody. I disregarded my own values to satisfy men, especially Christian Grey, my dream man. So when I found out that he was on his own path of destruction with everything else he wanted to do that I did not agree with, I was crushed. I was devastated. And I didn't know what to do. I was crying and crying and crying. I mean, if I had a knife, I would have just stabbed it into my heart. That's not my heart, but you know what I'm saying. I decided that I had had enough of this frigging life, especially that my lifestyle, not my own life, but my lifestyle was just hell. So what I did and what worked for me is that I raised up my hands to God and I said, God, please help me. I don't want to do this anymore. Within days, God listened to me, because within days, I came across this television program, and this lady, she was talking about being sexually abused by her own father. I can't remember what age it started for her, but I remember it stopped at the age of 18. And I had never heard before what the hell she was talking about, ever. But I was able to relate to everything she was saying. And that's when I realized that, oh my God, what happened to me when I was little, up until the age of 12, it destroyed my self-worth. And that's why I was behaving the way I was behaving all my life. I let people trample all over me. I felt damaged, tainted, and broken. I was holding on to a lot of shame. I then learned that even though I didn't get the kind of love that I needed from my own family, that I could love myself. I started to believe that I am valuable and I am lovable. I mean, look at me. I am so adorable. It was up to me to raise my own standards according to my value. And the higher I valued myself, the higher my standards became. I no longer accept people mistreating me, because I now know I am worth more, and I deserve a lot more. We really do teach other people how to treat us. If someone is not treating us right, we don't have to accept it. But we do need to set definite boundaries in order to do that. We need to take our power back and stand up for what we believe in. I'm so happy I decided to turn my life around. I was at the rock bottom. And I made the decision that to climb out of that pit of hell I found myself in. And I learned to believe that only I had the power. Only I had the power to make a difference in my own life. Nobody else. Hollywood and the advertising industry has always glamorized what could be harmful to individuals, families, and society in general. We need to be really careful about what we watch and what we listen to, because it does affect our thoughts and our behavior. It took me over 40 years. Lived in shame and guilt and unworthiness. I was keeping a lot of secrets. And these secrets accumulated to my breaking point. I don't regret what happened to me though. I just don't regret anything. Not the abuse, not all the bad things I think I did. Because it has equipped me. It has equipped me to do the kind of work I'm doing now, which is helping other women to raise their level of self-esteem and self-worth and attract healthy relationships. I went from being 50 shades of wrong to 50 shades freed. And my life is totally transformed now, and yours can as well. Remember, the first step to attracting healthy relationships is to take your power back. Thank you.